Who built the Borobudur, one of the largest yet most infrequently academically shared Buddhist monuments in the world? Supposedly built within the 8th century AD, it ranks as one of the greatest archaeological sites of Asia, if not the world. We have on many occasions covered seemingly unexplainable, enormous ancient monuments and ruins that we feel are attributed to a more modern inhabitant, who, according to the same academic study, were undoubtedly severely lacking the capability to complete such builds. In other words, we believe that due to the inexplicable nature of their construction, and indeed often the scale of the stonework involved in these sites, they were instead seen as an advantageous place to re-inhabit. In doing so, these piggyback cultures created their own illusions of power, obviously claiming they built such awe-inspiring, intimidating structures would have immediately put any native adversary or any invading party on the back foot. A daunting task for any of our ancestors, merely armed with swords and catapults, to have invaded. Sites such as the Great Pyramids, Sacsayhuaman, Kuelap, or any other incredibly well-constructed ancient fortress or structure would have provided a superior level of security, a ready-built sanctuary, allowing their people to flourish and, in turn, giving our modern academia a culprit to pin the constructions to. Additionally, the religious idols, the artistically illustrated belief systems, and any leftover technologies would have been adopted by these people. Thus, we strongly suspect that religions such as Buddhism was in fact left to us by a highly advanced lost civilization, translated and embraced by our more modern ancestors. This adaptation of belief systems has conveniently allowed the furthering of the agenda of academia, yet the structure's inexplicable features are merely ignored by this group rather than ever explained, this due to them simply incapable of explaining such constructions. This long list of worldwide unexplained anomalies, which grows in depth every day, is one of the main reasons why most of our taught history, we feel, is now obviously a lie. In truth, no one actually knows who built Borobudur. They do not know when Borobudur was built. And most important of all, they have no clue how it was built. The unexplained features within Borobudur are greater in number than almost any other ancient site on Earth, and we suspect this to be the reason why it is rarely shared publicly. Yet, its past importance has not been overlooked by the modern world. Borobudur, since knowledge of its existence was sparked in 1814 by Sir Thomas Ramford Raffles, then the British ruler of Java, who was informed of its existence and location by native Indonesians. Furthermore, speculation about an ancient lake which once surrounded Borobudur was the subject of intense debate during the 20th century. In 1931, a Dutch artist and scholar of Hindu and Buddhist architecture, W.O.J. Nieuwenkamp, developed a hypothesis that the Kedu Plain, which surrounds the pyramidal structure, was once a lake, with Borobudur created to appear as a lotus flower floating on the water. We strongly believe that Borobudur, along with its curious architecture, is one of the most enigmatic, as yet unexplained, ancient site on Earth, and as such, highly compelling. There are many ancient out-of-place artifacts that we feel, due to academia's domination of popular opinion, are easily hidden away beneath a veil of secrecy. Countless intriguing, unexplained artifacts, all condemned to a mundane modern conspiracy pertaining to their true origins. Objects that, ironically, cannot be explained by these same individuals' so-called learned opinions, a fact that must clearly be beknownst to them, yet seemingly overlooked by the majority of the general public. We have previously covered many artifacts that, thanks to their existence, contradict most of modern academic opinion regarding the chronological timelines for the development of man. Many metallic artifacts, for example, that either due to their purity, size, or elemental rarity, fly in the face of currently attested views regarding their possible age. Developed undeniably through far more advanced techniques than were available to our more modern descendants, we have even covered extraterrestrial gold, once owned by Tutankhamun, now argued as having come to Earth via meteorites. These artifacts indicate a far more interesting, far older story for their origins, and indeed their creators, than academia would like you to believe. Beth Shearim, an ancient gigantic glass slab we have previously covered. It was once found within Galilee. Just like our object of focus, the Beth Shearim slab was unquestionably created within a refinery, far too enormous for our well-studied, more modern ancestors. Just like the Beth Shearim slab, this enormous metal disc, recently uncovered within Java, simply cannot be explained with primitive ancient smelting techniques. Indeed, the melting, casting, and hammering of this amount of iron into such an enormous iron dish, according to academic views on history, is currently unexplainable, making the iron disk of Java an out-of-place artifact. Predictably, after the successful excavation of the artifact and the careful, painstaking placement of it upon a transport lorry, it was mysteriously destroyed on the way to the museum, where it would have been on public display in full view of inquisitive minds. Clearly, once a pot of enormous proportions, and indeed once of a huge weight that, although most of these tons have rusted away, the movement of such required the utilization of a crane and transport lorry, a fact conveniently absent from any media explanations as to its ancient origins or usage. Who made the giant dish of Java? How did they make it? What did they use it for? Unfortunately, due to its destruction, it may slip away into the chasm of history, as with many other ancient oparts, missed by most and avoiding their deserved exposure within the modern age. We have, on many occasions, covered the many astonishing ancient rock-cut structures which can be found virtually all over the world. Megalithic creations, often carved from a single piece of stone or dry build constructed out of impossibly huge stones, and recently we have touched upon the more impressive stone sites to be found, such as the horseshoe-shaped piece of granite, decided upon by someone or something as the base rock for what many perceive to be the most impressive artistic wonder on Earth. A structure named after a mountain, we also suspect, has witnessed extreme excavation work in the past, as did the Giza Plateau. Indeed, although little known, acres of solid natural stone were excavated from the Giza Plateau as the foundation bed for the most incredibly elaborate pyramid found anywhere. Who could have accomplished such gargantuan tasks over 3,000 years ago? But I digress. Our topic of this video is a wonderful gem hidden upon our Earth. In fact, the largest and seemingly most impressive of them all. So impressive, in fact, a number of individuals, specialists, tasked with the investigation of this astonishing structure and the construction thereof, some for over 12 years of extensive investigation, have been resigned to the conclusion alien influences could have only been responsible for the completion of the structure at such an ancient time in our history. Known as the Lost City of Angkor, this due to its extended duration hidden beneath several thousand highly established tree roots. It was once the capital city of the Khmer Empire, which flourished from approximately the 9th to 15th centuries. However, a similar theory can be applied regarding the Khmer Empire's success to the ancient Egyptian civilization's notorious longevity. It is, of course, a possibility that we have covered regarding Giza before, that these ancient cultures partook in probably the earliest form of graffiti, presumably ordered by the current rulers, to add their own deity depictions to these already ancient and astonishing structures. It would be a logical decision for a successful leader of an ancient group of people, namely self-declared Hindu monarch Jayavarman II, who also declared himself a universal monarch and a god king, to make the decision to claim such mastery as their own creation. When visitors entered the area, they would immediately assume that your group had constructed this awe-inspiring temple, undoubtedly intimidating and additionally giving incredible security to your people, as the temple even possessed an impressive moat, an instant advantage over all surrounding tribes. Not hewn from a single rock, but created using no less impressive techniques, undoubtedly requiring the same perfection in artistic ability as Kailash Temple. 5 million blank stone blocks were perfectly laid upon one another, slowly forming a template. These stones were then individually and perfectly carved into the astonishing wonder we see before us today. As the blocks were pre-laid, this means whoever the sculptors were had only one chance to get the carvings right, a feat they seemingly accomplished. Who built the lost city of Angkor? Kailash? The pyramids? Baalbek, etc., etc.? The list of utterly perplexing sites grows every day, but thankfully, so does our knowledge.